Welcome to the Inalienable Right, guys. We hold these truths to be self-evident that all men are created equal and endowed with certain inalienable rights by
The thing.
the thing. Dun, 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 dun. Talking about the big E to the S to the P to the N.
Yep.
And all these get woke, go broke cultures. Now they're talking about ESPN suffering.
Yeah, the other day there was an article came out that I think they're going to let 300 people go on top of, I think there was another 500 positions or something like that, or 200 positions. I forget now what it was now. That they're open positions that they're not going to fill. I think the total of both was like 500 people. Now I don't know how big ESPN is.
Oh, they're huge.
You know,
yeah, they're large.
But still, you can see that they're starting to go downhill. Like I say, get woke and go broke.
That's right.
You know.
And these SJWs, you know, I was telling Mark today, I heard a story where El Papa, the Pope, called 5 or 6 NBA, and they flew them on. Ain't no telling with the Vatican who paid for the trip, but they go down there to talk about social issues. And you know, I always thought about, you know, like I was telling Mark, you know, I play sports, so I was into a lot of sports, so I understand it, and it gets in your blood, and it's still hard for me to wean myself on. But when I saw some of these, the NBA and all this Black Lives Matter stuff on the deal, and all these jerseys painting themselves as victims, and I said to myself, they are blocking out a whole constituent of people. Now, understand me, it's always been my logic that people who gripe and who, you know, this old saying say the squeaky wheel get the most grease. Mm-hmm. You throw a rock in a pile of dogs, usually the one that hollers is the one that got hit.
Right.
All of them kind of adage it. But it's been my take that people use sports as a getaway.
Right.
Politics can have politics. You can do your politics, you can have your different beliefs, but the majority of the people that was paying for them season tickets and going into them venues, they was going for the entertainment factor. They was going to get away from all the things that sort of plagues us on a daily day through politics. Well, look at them now. They're suffering hard, and I think we're just on the precipice of some taking its toll.
We were talking a few minutes ago before we started this about the movie industry and how the movie theaters, you know, the movie theaters aren't coming back. A lot of them are closing down, and they don't have enough money, to keep them open. And it's the same thing. You know, you have actors out here that are pushing these social things, and I really don't understand, because, like I told Mo, can they not see that they're destroying themselves? You know, the players that are out here doing this, they're destroying their own. You know, the teams and all this stuff. People have been tuning out now for a while, and like I said, when we started this, you know, already there's 500 jobs that are out the window now,
right?
Because of their foolishness. You know, people don't want to see that. People don't want to see a lot of this garbage. You know, that they're coming out. These movies that they're coming out with the social justice stuff, people don't. They don't want to see that.
And you couple that with the COVID now, and you got, like, I'm watching the NFL and looking at the stadiums, and nobody in the stadium. These are tickets. These are hot dog buys.
We pay for those tickets. Yeah. We pay for those movie tickets. We pay for those seats.
Exactly. And all the things that come with it. You know, selling the venues, the hot dogs, and the beer, and all the entertainment that's just raking in much money for the owners. Well, man, they suffering like they never did before. Yeah. And I just think ESPN, mentioning them, they are sort of like the leader of the sports reporting and things. And when they suffer like that, that's a prelude to something is occurring. And it's an NBA executive. I forget his name, but he said next year we ain't gonna do this. We ain't gonna do this. Painting Black Lives Matter we ain't gonna take on these social issues. Well, you know already the die's been cast.
For some people, the damage is already done.
The die's been cast. Yes.
I'm not really much into sports. I don't watch a lot of sports, but yeah, for a lot of people that do that, yeah, the damage is already done.
Yes. The memorabilia and all the things that sell, people are just dishing them, burning them, getting rid of them. And you know, one thing that taught me, like I was telling Mark one time, that I watch a lot of football on Sundays, and I used to think I couldn't. So I gave it a whirl this year, and I haven't watched none this year, and I've been impressed with myself because I'm more focused on things that are real. I mean, when a person come in there, say for instance, you get up and you want to watch some football, and then you hear these guys kneeling at the Pledge of Allegiance or at the flag, and trying to make a social justice statement. And your mind is so far away from that, so removed from that. You like, listen, are you ready for some football? Yes, that's what I'm ready for. I'm not ready to be watching every play and listen to the commentators denigrate America. Now, America, the beautiful, the one that affording them, that's great.
Exactly. They gave you the opportunity to do what you're doing, you know, and like, you know, the players themselves gave you opportunity to throw a ball around and make millions of dollars doing it. You know, and then you want to get out there and basically destroy your own, you know, prosperity. I don't get it. You know, I don't get it. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to destroy that?
It's about values and logics. You know, I don't think, you know, when you given stuff all your life, you know, as an athlete, you come through school, especially if you're good, and then you're revered by your peers, and you just go through everything given to you. It's handed to you. So you really don't understand how things are made or how things are obtained or how it work in the business sector. And so you get there, and then like ESPN, they paid all these ex-athletes and hundreds of millions of dollars. Now they suffer because it ain't coming back fast enough. Yeah. You know, the revenues ain't coming back fast enough because someone got to get to the players and say, look, you know, like, I know this might sound a little crass or cruel, but, you know, shoot the ball and shut up, you know, play ball and be quiet because just like Mark was saying about the movies, this is so many current actors now that I used to look at blindly and didn't know their politics, but now I know their politics, and I know they're trying to infuse, at least I'm suspicious of them, that they're trying to infuse their beliefs in on our culture, and I didn't look at it that way before I did politics.
No, exactly. Yeah, and the teams are that way, you know, the players are that way. You want to watch the teams play. You don't care about any of that other stuff. And if they want to do that, well, whatever they want to do, if they want to do that on their own time, then that's fine. That's great. You know, and that's one thing, like I said, I'm not a sports person at all. I don't like watching sports. I don't care nothing about it. But I always enjoyed seeing, you know, these players or whatever, when you'd see articles about things that they were doing in their communities, you know, just different, you know, charities or whatever, or foundations that they created or whatever, things that they've done, or just even for individual people. Right. You know, whenever there's a story about somebody, you know, one of these, you know, quarterbacks or something, you know, family, mama's got cancer and, you know, they can't afford, you know, whatever, you know, and they go in and they do all this stuff for them, or, you know, what, those are, you know, and those are things we should be celebrating, you know, type of thing. But, you know, whatever they want to do, that should be off the field. That should be, you know, whatever they do behind the scenes, that's fine. And so the activism, the same thing. If they want to do that on their own time, that's great, you know. But when it comes down to the game and, you know, the announcers and all this kind of stuff, stick to the game.
Stick to the game.
Stick to the story.
I like that. That's stick to the game. You know, and the politicians are the worst of the worst. You know, I see them. They sit there and get these factions of these sports to bleed like them and to follow after their rhetoric and to take up their mantle and follow their politics. And then you see one of them at an opening game, a politician, so like Obama or somebody. He goes out and throw the first pitch and he just throws like a little girl. I mean, he can't even get it. He can't even get it past his feet, man. Let alone to, I mean, these are athletes. These guys are gifted with a talent, and that's why they get the money, and rightfully so in a lot of ways. They gladiators in a lot of ways.
Yeah, and that's what it is. That's what I was going to say a minute ago. Is they're kind of like our modern day gladiators. These guys get out there and on these teams and they do whatever they do. It's kind of the thing. It's our way of watching the two teams go at each other, and
right.
And you get that excitement, and people pick their teams, whatever side they're on, and they have you can have some rivalries going on and stuff like that, and it's entertainment.
Exactly.
It is. It's our modern day entertainment.
Exactly.
And so throwing all this other garbage in there just ruins it, and it has ruined it for people.
And I'm telling you, if in business, the bottom line is to gain, to make money. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. I mean, all this, I like this player over that player. If that player better than that player, then that's who gonna make the most money. And so when you start affecting business like ESPN is starting to feel the heat and the sting of the decision. I saw it coming a while back, like you say.
Oh, well, what about just the other day they came out and said that in the NFL they wanted so many of the coaches to be black.
Yeah.
They're gonna have so many black coaches.
Yeah, all this quota and all that.
They're basically gonna have a quota now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of it is because somebody's, pressuring them, as we was talking about that cancel culture. But again, get woke or go broke is a real deal. These people are starting to feel the sting. Like we know in our heart of hearts that it's at least 70, 80 million of us that think this way. We ain't gonna say what affection lies, where it's going, but we know for a fact that there's that many, and that's buku bucks. And you gonna shut that off. And just another good one. If you look at these late night shows, the Kimmels and the likes, they are gone to pots. I mean, they are so far. They like, I don't want to have nothing to do with nothing else. I just want to be in this firing circle and be in this echo chamber.
Yeah.
And they think they can prosper forever like that. No, something going.
Because the same thing's going to happen to them.
Mm-hmm. You gotta make money. The bottom line to make
exactly.
money.
And that's the part that I don't understand. There's a lot of this stuff that I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Exactly.
Like Kevin says, making sense out of nonsense. Some of this stuff don't make no sense. But you're shooting yourself in the foot. You're doing this stuff and you're losing money. And I don't get that mentality. Why are you doing something that's going to cost your bottom line? And
it's to push an agenda. I'm convinced because I've never seen it at this level, or where it's just nonstop, just perpetual, and it's just push an agenda. And as soon as they can reach whatever their goal is, which is to me is foolish. When they reach that goal, they think they can replenish it, replace it, but I think they didn't push themselves to
because how far are you going to go? First it's this, then it's going to be something else, and then it's going to be something else, and how far are you going to go? Until you've alienated everybody that wants to watch sports, whatever it is.
And the irony of it, Mark, is that these guys is virtual signaling like they some, pillar of society, 6 baby mamas and just all kinds of drunk driving, drug charges, spousal abuse. I ain't calling no name. I'm talking about the gamut, the whole. All of them got something that they humanly erred in, but yet they want to concertedly come together to fight a cause that's really not a cause. It's for the betterment of humanity, and that is that we all stand for something as a unit, as a unified country.
Yeah.
They wants to take a side because I'm telling them politicians can't throw a ball, can't hit a ball, and can't bounce a ball, but they can talk about they got the gift of gab, they got the rhetoric.
Yeah.
And so Mark wanted to talk about this ESPN.
Well, there's Beto. He rode a skateboard, remember?
Oh yeah.
I just thought I'd throw that in there.
You might have a position though coming up.
He probably will. It'd be
make him over
guns or something. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, here you
Again,
go. They're already seeing that they're like I said, here's 500 employees gone, and that's and if they continue with this stuff, now you said, like you say, they're not going to put this stuff out there anymore, but now how many people have they already, like I say, how many people like yourself, they've already said I'm through with it,
right? Right.
How long is it gonna? It's almost like trust. It's how long are you gonna? How long is it gonna take you to go back and? Well, maybe I'll watch a game and say, see if it's still, how long is it going to take them to build back that trust with these people that have already just said, forget it.
At least a generation.
Yeah, and then and in the meantime, you got these guys that are got multi-million-dollar contracts. What happens when you ain't putting, you're not putting butts in seats, because of this. Yeah, you're not putting butts in seats anymore because of, you've put all these people off.
And I'm telling you, man, it's even deeper than that with the athlete's behavior.
Yeah.
I seen I think he from Jacksonville, defensive end, walking through the tunnel, getting ready to play football. Dude big and ferocious than me, or bigger than me. I look up to him, and he got a dress on. and I'm like, I can't just suppose these images. I mean, these guys are feminizing each other, and they wussifying the game. They done brought in a gazillion rules where you can't, you touch somebody on the hand and you get a penalty. You can't be aggressive, and so all this is just undermining what I think eventually we might not see it in my lifetime.
I was thinking this a minute ago. What we're talking about, it's like a house of cards, and eventually it's going to fall. Because they can't keep it up. Like I said, you keep pushing this envelope going down the road here. How much? What's next? What's next? What's next? Who are you trying to do? So whatever social justice thing you're trying to do,
right.
And you're alienating more and more people. So you're not putting butts in seats. You got these guys with multi-million-dollar contracts that. Eventually, you're not going to have the money to pay them, because you're not bringing in the revenue. It's going to collapse.
It got to, because the bottom line is to fill them seats, like you say, put butts in seats.
Yeah.
The bottom line is to sell the merchandise. The bottom line is to sell the products, the image and the likes. The web, you can do so much on the website, but the bottom line is to make money. And when you paying people like one quarterback signed a contract for $100 million. Okay, I mean you're already behind the 8 ball, so you got to how you gonna take that?
That's just one guy.
One guy. How you gonna take that $100 million and get him to make you $10 million? You got to double your money, triple your money, but with nobody in the seats, with
nobody in the
keeping
seats,
everybody irritated and upset and divided. I mean that's what you say. Baseball is America's pastime. That's a great game because it brought America together for the
right.
And even, it's all infected. Even baseball, everything has gone to pots because of this SJW stuff. This
and then you got the COVID on top of it, the China virus or whatever. That's
perfect
just
storm.
It's just come in and made it that much worse because now you can't even fill the seats. It's
And that's what we're saying. Again, what we're saying, I just don't see no quick fix for this right now. I don't see.
No, I don't know how you gonna. This is affecting all of our entertainment. Like I said, because I brought in the movies too. It's affecting all of our entertainment. People are starting to look elsewhere, which may be a good thing. Get away.
I think it is for me. I don't have no regrets. People that I see some of the guys that I talk to on the job always come to me and look up like, yeah, you have any regret? No, none.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah.
None. And it's all about principles anyway.
Yeah.
You got to stand on principles. I mean, if these guys consider themselves stand on principles, more power to you.
Right.
More power to you. But when them bottom lines start coming in, them owners and them, them people that run these, make money for this, they gonna have a different change of heart. But like me and Mark saying, some of us, y'all push us too far as far as that way. Well, we can get our entertainment. I think the culture needs to go back to more reading and fundamental things anyway, personally.
Yeah. And that may be, that may be a consequence of it. That we did our Thanksgiving thing. What did I say? Family. Spend more time with your family.
Exactly.
Heck with that, watching, all this stuff, whatever. Have a game night instead of having game night where you're sitting around watching the TV and watching, the Cowboys or, whatever, Saints, whatever, have game night with your kids and play, Monopoly.
Sal, I'm telling you, get back to the simple things in life.
Yeah, exactly.
And then one more aspect of it is it's idolatry. When you start, I know people that know statistics and data and athletes better than they know their own kids.
Oh, yeah. Well, that was always my thing, and I've told you that before. Is you got those people that they're so wrapped up in it, so wrapped up in these games and these players and all this stuff, and come in Monday morning, the Cowboys lost, and they're mad at the world, and it's like behind the game. Come on, people, I know you love your team, but it's just a game. But you making it affect your whole life, affect your whole day, and that I know.
And the strange thing about it, at least back then they had enough that the people could look at it from that way. But now you don't ostracize or isolated half of American population. But you're gonna have to work with that little old half you got. And I can tell you, the ones I know, the better half have turned away because they are the ones that buy them skyboxes and them season tickets, and paying them expensive. And you know how many motels and surrounding vineyards and eateries are suffering because you done ran away that portion of the fans. They mad too. They like something got to give.
House of cards.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I said. It's a house of cards.
So when you start seeing them pink slips going out, just tell ESPN, we don't want to hear it. Don't
agony of defeat.
Yeah, that's right. We don't want to hear it. Tell somebody that cares.
Exactly. All right. Well, thank you, everybody.